Welcome to My Shift Setup, the series where we sit down with real Shift users and break down how they built their browser around the way they actually work. I'm Michael Fouché, VP of Product here at Shift. If you're new to Shift, it's a fully customizable browser that lets you drag and drop your layout, create dedicated spaces, and bring all your apps and accounts into one window. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Tyler, founder of Surveyor Sports Management. Tyler works at the intersection of sports and media, representing purpose-driven outdoor athletes. Hi, Tyler.
How's it going, Michael? It's good to meet you.
So, Tyler, we're going to get into your browser setup, but I'm just wondering, how many years have you been using Shift for?
I think since 2020.
Wow. Okay, that's a long time. So if you don't mind, if you could share your desktop and show us what you've done.
Yeah, sure. This is my homepage. It's just set to Google. I have my industry trades saved here for easy access. I went with the Maverick template. I like how the spaces are at the bottom along with my apps that I use. At the top, in the top right-hand corner, I have all my Google applications, shortcuts to those. I'm big on using Google. It's the most compatible for the type of work that I do. And then down in the toolbar section, I have Google Gemini, which I use for proofreading. I don't like to use AI too much in the type of work I do. It's very relational. And then I have some spreadsheets here for a bunch of different things. In the bottom right-hand corner, these are the apps that I use for my work. The first one here is QuickBooks, use this for all my invoicing. I have my bank accounts, American Express, PayPal, and Wise. And then I have my Squarespace and Wix apps here for the websites that I manage through the company. And then this is Agency Analytics, which is a social media analytics platform. LinkedIn. I also have Figma here, which is helpful for creating presentations and decks. WhatsApp for communicating with international contacts. And then I have my company social media here, which, I like using on a desktop instead of a phone because it gets less likely to get stuck in the algorithm and waste time.
This is just a beautifully clean layout. Like it's very, kind of mind mapped. You can see you've got stuff, really anchored to the corners.
Yeah, I'm kind of a neat freak, for better or for worse, making sure the sink is empty and everything's clean. I don't know how people work with a screen full of like 50 tabs open. That would drive me crazy. I would not be able to get anything done. So I like to focus on specific things and then put them away, close them, open them up again later when I need them.
So what you're saying is we're getting great insight into your mind and character through your Shift layout.
Yes. I feel very vulnerable right now.
Well, this is great. Yeah. Tell me about your other spaces.
This white one down here is my personal company email address. So that's where this space is where I spend the most time, do the most work. And then the second one is where people who inquire about my services, this is where they end up. And this is where I do a little bit more of like the admin work for my business. So spend a lot less time here, but it is here and helps me kind of compartmentalize that type of work and that type of communication. And then the last one is my personal email. And I do have some other applications that I use that are just relevant to my personal life, like my Strava app and my personal Instagram. And I, do my personal finances through the Monarch app, which is great. I could recommend that to anyone who wants to, budget and find out what subscriptions they need to cancel that they've been paying for years and years. But yeah, this is very much a business setup for me.
This is great.
I honestly don't know how I would work and balance all these different tabs and modes of workflow that I have without Shift. It blows my mind that there's someone out there just using like Safari or like a general browser to do their work. I can't even wrap my head around it. So the customization is amazing. And it's also, to me, on a level, it's just necessary. Like, I don't think I would be able to do my job without it.
That's amazing feedback. It is part and parcel why we built this, because we feel very strongly that the generic browsers that are around today, like you mentioned, Safari or Chrome or Edge, They have a template. They have one interface. You can do some minor customizations, but for the most part, you don't have much ability to customize to meet where you're at as a user and to make it really work for your workflow. And that was our goal. And I'm glad we were able to open that up for you and you have articulated it very well. And, our goal is to hopefully let as many people know that you don't have to live that way. You can live a better way in your digital life. So thank you for that comment. And this may be, you may have already answered this, but what is the one feature in Shift that you think saves you the most time, or what is your favorite feature that you experience day to day?
Just having everything at your fingertips, just a couple of clicks away, has saved me seconds here and there throughout the day as an aggregate. It really adds up. I run a small business. I do everything from the most important tasks to invoicing and bookkeeping and all the menial, day-to-day things. So saving time is super important to me. The less I have to log into different apps and other platforms that I use, and even just to be reminded of the different platforms that I have all in front of me at the same time is a huge time saver. So yeah, I'm better at my job because I have and use Shift, and without it, it would take me longer to do things and I wouldn't be doing them as well.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic. So if you were to give a tip to someone who is brand new to Shift, what would be the one sort of tip you would give to a new user?
That's a great question. I think it's a little bit of a practice to think about how you want to set up your Shift browser, and you're not going to be able to do it in an hour. It's something you have to think about every so often, just taking a beat to say, like, am I using all these apps down here in the bottom right-hand corner? Or are there any tabs that I can, add to my bookmark tab? Or should I create a new space for a different email that kind of compartmentalizes a very specific type of work that I do? You just have to be thoughtful of how you're doing your work and try to organize it the best that you can. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's just making a concerted effort to think about it every so often and make those tweaks. It's very similar to like buying a new bicycle, being fit to ride that bicycle so that the handlebars are in the right position, your saddle is at the right angle, continuing to make those adjustments on your bicycle so that it's set up just for you is super, super important. And it's not just set it up and never think about it again thing.
That's awesome feedback. And, I think that we hopefully have made it easy enough for people to do that, to go into our layout builder and be able to just drag and drop items where they want, move bars around, and like you say, really consider what works best for you. I've done a few of these interviews and people have made layouts such that they move their mouse less on the screen. Like that's how much they've customized it. So things are closer together. So they're not spending time dragging their mouse around.
That's really interesting. It's like being like a cook on a line or a chef.
Yes.
Like if you use something in conjunction with, this other ingredient for the same recipe, like why are they on the opposite ends of the table, put them next to each other. It makes a whole lot of sense.
So Tyler, I want to thank you for taking the time today to chat with us and share your setup, which is awesome. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and thank you for creating Shift and making it better and better each year. And I hope you're always here. Don't go anywhere.
Don't worry, we're not going anywhere, and stay tuned. We've got exciting things coming.
Cool. I'm excited to see what it is.